Amandla! Amandla! Comrades and compatriots, indeed, now is the winter of our jubilation. Made glorious summer by this son of Polokwane, and all the clouds that have lowered upon our house are now in the deep bosom of the ocean buried. In the last two lines of his poem, the British writer Wilfred Owen expresses himself in Latin language as he wrote, and I quote, "Dulce et decorum est pro patria mori," close quote. This Latin slogan means it is sweet and fitting to die for one's country. The slogan was chanted by those who were in the forefront or those who were in full support of the First World War near its inception. And therefore the slogan was relevant to the soldiers of that particular era. Comrades and compatriots, on Christmas Day we tried hiding our faces in shame as we learned of the brutal killings of 7 family members at a village of Jim Jones near Malamulele. Also shocking was the fact that the killings were carried out by one of our own, an alumni of our university. The killings comes after we had in the earlier years dealt with a serial killer dubbed the Univen serial killer, who terrorized the community of the University of Venda and the community of the neighboring township of Golgotha. In one of his writings, the famous writer William Blake wrote, and I quote, "Tiger, tiger burning bright in the forest of the night, what immortal hand or eye could dare thy fearful symmetry?" William Blake further asked a rhetorical question in the same writing as he asked, "Did he who created the lamb also created the tiger?" Close quote. You can be able to tell from the writing of William Blake that the writer was wondering in awe, asking himself as to whether is it God that created a gentle and an innocent lamb, the same God that also created the ferocious tiger. William Blake is asking a question of why would God create beings that can take away life of others at any given time. Perhaps on the occasion of today, we can further expand the meaning of the writing of William Blake and ask a question of whether is it the type of education that was received by our alumni who are contributing positively to lives in our communities and also to the development of our country, the same type of education that was received by these ones that have turned into murderers and also individuals clouded by elements of thuggerism and criminality. Comrades and compatriots, in all the negative happenings, you should never despair, but you must always sing songs of love and peace. In the midst of unemployment, economic uncertainties, financial difficulties, you must never lose hope. You must adopt the lyrics of the song of the singer Zahara when she sang, and I quote, "Ndiyathandaza uyivele ngoma, izovuselela umphefumulo wakho, izokunika ithemba elitsha," close quote. Zahara is saying, Zahara is saying to you in her song that she prays you can hear the song that will be able to restore your soul and also give you a new hope. And that is the song that I've just alluded to, being the song of love and peace. Our Chancellor, as we are celebrating 40th anniversary this year, perhaps we may have to ask ourselves 2 questions that may sound a bit related. The first question being, are we on the right path? And the second question being, are we on the right track? The question of whether are we on the right path was fortunately fully answered by what our Vice Chancellor and Principal said on the 15th of March 2019 during his investiture and inauguration, and I quote, "As the University of Venda, we see our role as vehicle, an agent of social change to deal with challenges. The University of Venda must contribute meaningfully in the development of the critical mass of quality-trained graduates and in the knowledge production of our country," close quote. And the question of whether are we on the right track, the answers are fully contained in the university's 2021-2025 strategic plan document. Comrades and compatriots, seated where we are, we can therefore assume that those who joined our university in 1982, like the soldiers in the First World War that I've spoken about earlier, hoping to be triumphant at the end of their journey, they too have said to themselves, it is sweet and fitting to be part of the University of Venda. Those who joined our university years and years later, both workers and students, like soldiers in the First World War, they've said to themselves, it is sweet and fitting to contribute to the development and to the success of our university. And therefore, the responsibility that you and I have today, like soldiers in the First World War, we must put our gas mask on, we must put our boots on and say, it is sweet and fitting to always contribute positively to the University of Venda. It is sweet and fitting to always help build the University of Venda. Dulce et decorum est pro patria mori. I thank you.